And we are live. What is going on, everyone? It's your boy Johnny Dunn, and we are back with another one. Today, another epic VeVe live stream. Today, we just have one drop. It is the House of Cards from Rewind Collective. This is Series 1, Part 2. Shout out to everybody joining the live stream today. I think this is going to be a great one. They did kind of separate these. This is Part 2. We had Part 1 drop with the Givenchy drop earlier last year. So I'm excited for this one. We have 8 total collectibles today, so I think this is going to be a very expensive set to collect. Maybe they come out pretty cheap in the marketplace, but if they do, I'm going to try to grab these. I think the drop's going to be pretty hard to get. Each edition is pretty low run. I'm going to go over the details in just a minute. I'm going to also show you guys what they look like. Big fan of the way they look. I'm going to actually share my screen here so we can go over it together. We got Tate and Cole in the building first in the live stream chat today. Hopefully you're able to get one today, Tate. Let me share this screen real quick. Boom. Oh, there we go. This is a good one. Shout out to everybody who's able to complete that first full set. We do know that the Amelia and the Cleo are going to be animated. I'm assuming sometime after today. I'm excited to see that. I do have the full set. Shout out to full set holders out there. I'm really excited to at least grab a few of these. If I can grab the whole set for cheap, I will for sure. But if not, I'm going to at least try to get 1 or 2 of these. First one, we have Mulan here. Now, these are all ultra rares. So these are going to definitely give you a solid amount of Master Collector Program points. We have 999 editions for the $90 list price. We have Joan of Arc. This is also going to be a very popular one, I believe. 999 editions. So again, less than 1,000 for all of these cards. This is something that I was saying I could see one day possibly. You never know what could happen. I've seen crazy things sold at Christie's, and this is something I've been saying for the last few days where I do see one day in the future. Maybe it's going to take a year or two. But one day I could see probably some of these, the low edition runs, go maybe for sale at Christie's one day. We have Queen Elizabeth. This is the one that I definitely want to see in my collection. I'm going to try to get one of these. Queen Elizabeth, 999 editions. I think the animation on this one looks great. Same with the Harriet Tubman one. I'm going to get to in just a second. Pocahontas. I think all these are going to do well. Maybe in the short term, just because the overall sentiment in the market is kind of low. May not do amazing right away. But I think if you can grab these for a low price, not financial advice, of course, not a financial advisor. My opinions only, I think this would be a solid one to grab. All of these cards, I think this set's going to do really well. This is another great one right here. I like the fact that they made them all ultra rares. That way, because I feel like, if you make a couple of these common compared to ultra rare, there may be some complaints there. So I think making them all ultra rares is a good idea. This is good. To me, this is like a high-end luxury type set to where I don't think many people will be able to afford. Then we have the last one here, ultra rare Harriet Tubman. This one has an amazing animation. They all have great animations. I have a couple tabs up here too. I want to go over a couple prices in the market, go over a little bit in the market, even though the sentiment's not too high. But then I'm going to be going over some old YouTube videos that people may or may not have seen that I feel like could definitely, spark some interest. We got APB in the house. Let's get it today. Shout out to everybody, drinking their coffee on the coffee gate today. Let's go. I think today's going to be a good one. I think it's going to be pretty hard to get, though, so don't get your hopes up that we will get one. We may see a lot of L's today, but let's try to manifest some dubs. We got Christian J, top of the morning fam. We got Joseph Gomez in the house. How we doing, brothers? How we doing? Let's see here. I want to go over – there's a long interview that I want to go over after we do the drop. But before we do the drop, there's just a couple short ones I want to go over. First, I want to show you guys. Well, I already showed you guys what they look like. I was going to show you the cards, but we already saw them. Let me go back to this tab real quick. Simone's thinking there's going to be a lot of rebounds today. There might be. Simone, hopefully you're feeling better today. I know you had the vid just a few days ago, so hopefully you're feeling a lot better today. Now, this is the Ecomi YouTube page. I want to show you guys some of the first videos that I found VeVe. I'm not sure if this one was it right here or if it was the one 2 years ago, but I think it was a combination of my search history from just finding my Pokemon cards, trying to figure out why some of these are valuable, and then the combination of trying to figure out what NFTs were led me to finding some of these videos. It was either this one, might have been this one too, this 12-minute one, but this one's only 5 minutes, so this is the first one we'll get into.
Writing's not that easy, but Grammarly can help. This sentence is grammatically.
Yeah, but yet there's so many online games that are being played where you buy. Of course, I decided a long time ago that there was plenty of opportunity in Asia. Started in Japan, and in Japan I found a completely different ecosystem that I felt could be translated to the United States and about the world. So one of the first things I did was I made a deal with Nintendo at that time, and I made him their agent around the world for Nintendo. During that period, I found a concept in Japan called Pocket Monsters, and I thought it was potentially very possibly successful outside of Japan. And got the rights on a worldwide basis outside of Japan, and turned that into Pokemon.
He just said that like a boss. And a lot of you guys probably already seen these videos, but I'm just going to go over a couple smaller, shorter videos just to, you know, it's always great to kind of see these over again. A lot of times, a lot of people who've been here for a while may have even missed these. So I'm just going over a lot of these shorter videos.
Japan called Yu-Gi-Oh! We got those rights as well, and certainly then introduced Yu-Gi-Oh! To the rest of the world as well in Japan. But, you know, we always are looking for things incrementally anywhere. So I originally started licensing programs for WWF, James Bond, G.I. Joe. We created Thundercats. We did a myriad of things, you know, as for kids entertainment. A couple of years ago, I started a new company called Crane Con, and Crane Con is the same business basically as For Kids was, looking for things that people didn't necessarily know about. And one of the first things we'll be launching is #1 kids show in China, which in China it's called Jijiban, and the rest of the world now will be called Kung Fu Pork Choppers. That's going to be going on American television, hopefully in the next 6 to 8 months, and we'll start to open it up around the world outside of China. Well, obviously, we're seeing that a lot of content that used to be, you know, let's say physical, is now digital. I think the biggest examples certainly are, you know, music in movies and television shows. We used to buy VHS tapes or DVDs, and now, of course, all that material can get sent to you vis-a-vis Wi-Fi or Bluetooth or whatever. We look at trading cards, look at Pokemon cards, Yu-Gi-Oh cards. The digital component on those has never really traction yet, but yet there's so many online games that are being played where you buy additional pieces of material online to play the game. So the question is, how do you then move that echo structure to a real collectible for children? And the answer is its uniqueness of the image. So we believe by taking top licenses and then creating incredibly digitally representations of these, but we're giving you a lot more magic, like augmented reality, like dimensional, three-dimensional appearances, and making sure that that image is only available digitally. So that therefore, even though it might start out as something that we make physically, so we can digitize it, the actual physical ramification of that is no longer available. And the only thing available is the digital representation. The issue with that was, how do you protect that? How do you decide, if you do that, and you sell it, how do you protect the individual that purchased it? Well, between Ecomi's ecosystem, which uses the blockchain to obviously protect and certify these particular images. The other side of it is, how do you get kids to or anybody to work on the blockchain, both from a Ecomi's smart card and Ecomi's ability to have a little smart wallet. You can actually store your collectibles on the smart wallet and carry it around and show all your friends. Those smart wallets can also be, look at the particular properties. The smart wallet might have a picture of some of the new Ecomi licenses on the top of it. I think that's amazingly important. So I look at this whole thing very much similar to a video game echo structure. So video games, you had a console, then you had cartridges, or you had other discs that you put into it. With the Ecomi, you have a smart wallet, which also, of course, works in conjunction with an app that you get on your iPhone or your Android phone.
They haven't even rolled that out just yet. We only have the secure Ecomi hardware wallet, which you can hold all your cryptos on it, and that sells out like a drop when it does. That's $200. Soon, they're going to eventually roll out the cheaper, probably $30 wallet that'll only hold OMI, not all of your crypto, and it'll hold your VeVe NFTs in a hardware wallet. That's something that people don't even realize is coming.
And you can actually order these incredible collectibles that are based on huge hits in terms of licensing, and then you know that the one you're getting is unique to you in some form. And we think that with the kids, with peer pressure, with the idea of kids going, I want that, and offering things that aren't available anyplace else. So it's not just digitizing an existing figure, it's creating a new proposition where that digitalization represents the total physical embodiment of that thing, and the physical piece is no longer there. We think there's a huge opportunity for kids to get into that collection mode, and we think that just like video games, just like trading cards, just like action figures, the next big realm of this area will be digital collectibles.
Exactly like you just said. Just like how video games, you used to be able to go to the store, you still can go to the store, buy your CD game in an actual physical case, put it in your PlayStation, Xbox, whatever the case is. Now you can just download it and you have the game. It's digitized. You still own it.
And we've never seen a system that is anywhere near what Ecomi can do. Not only inviting you to come in and participate, but also protecting it easily and making it simple for anybody to sort of use the smart wallet and take the advantage of the blockchain that comes with that smart wallet.
Cool. Thanks, Al. That's quite amazing.
Okay.
Thanks.
It's a short little 5-minute one. That was just a little part out of the whole entire.
These kind of app developments, you always have.
This is a throwback one right here.
Cool. Ben,
Look at this. 2019. This is when people couldn't spell NFT.
Very good, Reese. Yourself?
yeah, good. Been playing phone tag for a couple of days, so it's nice, nice to touch base.
Yep.
Look, today I just wanted to have a chat, get to know you a little bit better. I haven't put out a Meet Dan article as of yet. This can serve for some of that too.
This is before it come up.
Dive into as much as we can about Collect.
Sounds great.
All right, well, let's start with your story. You and David met 20 years ago?
Yeah, I think it was probably 23 years ago now, which is probably a bit telling on my age. Yeah, I think I'd started my first business, which was web and software development company. David started his first business, which was his very.
I have so many, little snippets of videos of so many different videos. I just could never find the actual link to each video. So if anyone wants to find this video, it is, all you have to do is just go to Ecomi African or Ecomi VeVe, and it's the Ecomi YouTube page.
These kind of app developments, you always have yeah, I think.
And about Collect.
Sounds great.
All right, well, let's start with your story. You and David met 20 years ago?
Yeah, I think it was probably 23 years ago now, which is probably a bit telling on my age. Yeah, I think I'd started my first business, which was web and software development company. David started his first business, which was his very first collectible and hobbyist retail chain. He needed a website. I was building websites, and then we basically have just kind of kept in touch ever since then.
Yeah. So you haven't worked together on anything else in that sort of 20 years? You just maintained a friendship there?
Correct. There were obviously, we were still, his website of his business continued to grow and develop. So we always worked on that regard, and also just in technology, but mostly just remained friends for the 20 odd years.
And then, was David the blockchain? Did he introduce you? How did that kind of come together?
Yeah, well, that was kind of random actually. We both ended up each buying Bitcoin at around the same time, but in completely different scenarios. And then I think it was the end of 2016.
Remember, this is all before the VeVe app was launched publicly.
We were just on a call, and I was like, oh, by the way, I brought a Bitcoin. And he was like, oh, well, shit, I brought a Bitcoin too.
Yeah.
And then, that's kind of how we sort of got into the crypto space together.
Right. And I believe you started, like most people, trading or at least playing around with those kind of things.
Yeah, so through 2017, prior to that, I'd actually just sold my last business, a media company over here in the States. And I was kind of looking for something to do. And then, a good friend introduced me to Bitcoin. And then the more I started learning about blockchain and obviously
Go down the rabbit hole.
how cool crypto is, really started diving into it. And then spent basically all of 2017 just doing day trading, thinking that I was the best day trader in the world, but really it was just the market, as we all know. But the great thing was that, during that period, we were working with a whole bunch of small altcoins and helping, not David and I, it was actually David, myself and Joe. And we were, we got just a very good understanding of, what these coins need and how to assess their viability for the future. And just through that process, really got to understand what blockchain was and really what made it tick, and just became more ingratiated with it, really.
Yeah. Perfect. So, I mean, that seems to be pretty common of most people's journey into the rabbit hole, I think. Day trader, and especially in 2017. I thought I was a great trader too.
Yeah.
I realized I should stop trading.
Yes.
Yeah. So what would you say then and now were the things that excited you the most about the potential of blockchain or how distributed ledger can be used?
I mean, back then, it was kind of the heyday. It was wide open. There was 10 protocols coming out every week. There was just so much kind of cool stuff happening. And really what we identified was that there were three main areas where people could sort of make money or run a business in crypto. One was the exchanges. They were completely tied up. The other was hardware, like mining. And then the other was security. And that was where there was still, there were new people coming into the scene, like Trezor. And so that was what, the area we decided to go into first. It was the easiest path to get into the crypto space, and that was when we formed our official partnership with KoolBitX Technology, and obviously since then we've kind of gone down one path with our application and our hardware. They've gone down another path, but that was really kind of how we got into it.
Yeah, and was that a David had already with KoolBitX? Was there some sort of history there?
Yeah, that's correct. I don't believe there was too much history, but one of David's abilities is that he is literally just a connector. He always meets.
He's got the connections, man. It's David.
He wants to do business in.
Yeah, right. Okay. So that's how that came about as well.
Yeah, and obviously with David being based in Taiwan from time to time, he has some good connections there.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm always curious to find out what people say is the future of distributed ledger technology. Everybody says, it's going to underpin everything. But
yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, it's very interesting. When we go to talk to all of these companies, licensors, blockchain still has such a misnomer about it. And I think, unfortunately, because it has been associated with the negative side of crypto. But really, I mean, the way that I see blockchain is that it's for distributed ledger. It's just going to become a tool that
This was so early too with the whole crypto scene, to where when they were trying to get a lot of these licenses, they were trying to explain to a lot of these brands, about the blockchain, and they would just get ushered out the building and say, we can't be part of that scam, that blockchain scam,
used for a very
or that Bitcoin scam.
Purpose. And in the end, people really aren't going to care too much about it. Like when you start Windows, you don't care if it's written in C++ or it's built on this or built on that. All you care about that is actually serving the purpose that you need. So, yeah, I mean, I guess there'll be, my view is that there will be a number of public blockchains out there that perhaps smaller companies, smaller entities will start using. But as we can already start seeing now, we have the larger corporations like Facebook and so forth, basically developing their own, their own solutions.
That's what it looks like at the moment. It's race to claim those enterprise spots. So
Exactly.
interesting to watch that play out, I think. Yeah, cool. All right, digital collectibles, obviously enabled by distributed ledger and use those token standards. That space seems to be developing. There's a lot of talk about it in gaming. I saw, I don't know how true it is, but someone mentioned that Fortnite might integrate NFTs and ownership of skins and those kind of things.
Listen to this part, guys. This is something that isn't a coincidence in my eyes. You know, I'm the moon boy, of course, you know, but take a look at all the characters that Fortnite has introduced lately. Whether that's the Batman who laughs, we're getting these same collectibles. And since they're licensed by these brands, you don't think one day Fortnite's going to integrate this?
As well. What excites you the most about it? I mean, I know that it's obviously been David's passion for a very long time. It's become one of yours in the time that I've known you. So
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's 100% true. Yeah, over the past couple of years, I have certainly leveled up in my collecting side of things. Just being with David, who I think I might have mentioned in a few other videos that David is really probably the best way to describe him is an absolute obsessed collector from, you know, everything. I think he owns, you know, all of the rare Pokemon cards. He's an avid whiskey collector. I mean, he's really just somebody who knows and understands the collector's psyche and, you know, the emotional triggers and what makes them tick. And for me, as I'm getting into this, you know, I mean, I'm very much a digital person. I don't really, I'm not too much material in the physical space. So I am very excited personally about owning, you know, a lot of these digital collectibles.
yeah, absolutely. Going as well. I think the collectibles thing is just such an incredible use of this technology as well. We couldn't do it before.
Yeah, absolutely. And the cool thing is that, you know, like in collecting space now, you go and buy, like I said, a beautiful polystone Batman statue. It's number 1 of 5,000. You take it back to your house. You put it in your room. You know, if you want to show that off, like, yep, of course you can put it on Instagram and social channels, but, you know, you need to bring someone back to your house to actually see it, which, you know, could cross into some creeper lines. But, you know, the opportunity with this digital space is that your entire collection is with you, well, especially with what we're doing, is with you all times.
Absolutely, yeah. And I mean, they're always in mint condition. That's what gets me.
Exactly. Yeah, they'll always get in the comic world. There's a thing called CGC, which is where they actually grade the comics, and these are based on a whole number of things, like whether it's got a dog ear in the corner, how pristine it is. But it is a very interesting point that a digital collectible will never degrade, you know, in any way.
You can do things with, you know, once these protocols are integrated, like all those kind of things.
Yes.
It opens it up. Because, myself as an 8-year-old collecting Pokemon cards, I wasn't putting them in mint condition, beautiful.
No. You wish you were.
I wish I was. Now I do. Now I look at them. Wish I never gave them to anybody. But no, it's good. I'm really looking forward to seeing this all come together. Brings me to my next question. Do we have some latest developments we could mention? Is there reviews there that we can bring up?
Imagine, you know, this is what I mean. You know, this is early, guys. Like, be patient when things aren't coming right away. We all love VeVe so much. We want things to boom right now. But it takes time, you know. Imagine back here, you know, listening to these videos. You know, imagine being one of the 4,000 people that saw this in 2019. This is before they even had the VeVe app. This is just things that they were saying they were going to do.
Yeah, so the Collector app development is going very well. So, and I think in our last company update, we mentioned that we were around about 80% of the way finished with the development, and we had a couple of things to implement, which were the Master Collector program, and more importantly, the entire token ecosystem. Now, that token ecosystem was fully integrated as per a couple of weeks ago. And we've obviously been working with our token advisors, giving some demonstrations, showing how it works. But yeah, very exciting. So the whole Collect app now has full-blown Omi wallet integrated into it. You can send the tokens in and out, and then there's various mechanisms within the application that you can use the Omi token to purchase collectibles.
Yeah, and in terms of the wallet and the way that functions, I mean, is it the same wallet for Omi tokens and your NFTs, or are they kind of two separate accounts? Is there an easy way?
In terms of the UI, it's two separate accounts. One of the main reasons for that, and one of our primary ethos always has been that this is a product for the mass market. So, a lot of users just don't really understand. If you say I need to put something in a wallet, when it comes to crypto or something like that, it's fine because they see it as some kind of finance. So we just have a section in the app called the showroom, where the user can actually go and view all of the collectibles they own and do a whole lot of other cool things with them.
And as soon as it's purchased, it goes straight there. So.
Absolutely, yeah. So when we mint the collectibles for the very first time, obviously the ownership resides with Ecomi until that NFT has been exchanged for the Omi token, and then at that point the Omi token is sent off to a non-circulation wallet, and the ownership of the NFT is transferred to the new user.
Perfect. And then it's up to them what they do with it.
Yeah, yep. They can buy, sell, build an augmented reality, upgrade, downgrade, sell it in the market, whatever.
Upgrade and downgrade. What does that mean?
Yeah.
Additional things?
Yeah, so one of the very cool features that we're building in is that, the beauty about digital space is we can do so much more than the physical world. So let's say you buy a collectible. Let's just say you manage to get your hands on an uncommon, because and just as a quick reminder, we have 5 different levels of rarity, from common right through to super rare, and obviously the super rare are much smaller numbers. So let's say you manage to get yourself an uncommon, and then over the lifetime of these collectibles and over the lifetime of the app, we will start releasing collectible upgrades. So for example, let's just say, and I'm just purely using this as an example.
This is the clip right here where I sent it to a few people. Shout out to Superstar Money. Shout out to Comics and Crypto. I'm gonna send this link to a couple of people. Asked for this link, so I'm gonna send it to a couple of people real quick. I told people how to find it, but I just didn't know this was the actual video here. So now that I found it, let me just send it to a few people really quick.
I'm not saying it's a license we've got or anything, but let's just say we have Superman, and you buy an uncommon, and then
let me rewind this just a tad bit.
Bring out a whole new range of capes, and these capes might, let's just say, and I'm just purely using this as an example, and then over the lifetime of these collectibles and over the lifetime of the app, we will start releasing collectible upgrades. So for example, let's just say, and I'm just purely using this as an example, license
3 minutes.
Superman, and
why is that not playing right?
And then in the future, we decide to bring out a whole new range of capes. And these capes might be, will also range from common right through to secret rare. But the secret rare might be a pure gold version, or it might be a billowing version, because obviously we can do full animation and everything as well. So the whole idea is that once you...
I think people need to hear this one more time. So let's say you manage to get yourself an uncommon, and then you manage to get yourself an
And then over the lifetime of these collectibles and over the lifetime of the app, we will start releasing collectible upgrades. So for example, let's just say, and I'm just purely using this as an example, I'm not saying it's a license for God or anything, but let's just say we had Superman and you buy an uncommon, and then in the future we decide to bring out a whole new range of capes. And these capes might be, will also range from common right through to secret rare. But the secret rare might be a pure gold version, or it might be a billowing version, because obviously we can do full animation and everything as well. So the whole idea is that once you have a collectible, you can really upgrade it, customize it, make it unique. And then once you've done that, you can either sell the entire thing with all the upgrades, or you can strip it back down to parts and then sell them off individually.
That's huge right there. Let me go over this real quick. So someone just asked how much. So each blind box is $90. You have 8 chances to get one of these cards. Well, you have 8 cards. You can get one of these cards basically on the drop. For the new person just tuning in.
But they'll remain individual NFTs as opposed to composables of some of these other protocols that are coming out.
Yeah, that's correct. So we don't use the actual composable technology, but within the application, you can essentially group your NFTs together with your one main collectible you purchased, and then
that's something that most people don't realize. Like right now, each of these NFTs is a 1 of 1 because of the mint number. That's what makes it non-fungible, is the actual mint number. They all look the same, but each one is different because of that actual mint number. Now, eventually, we haven't even gotten to this point just yet. We've only kind of had little teasers of upgrades with certain collectibles, right? Eventually, they're going to roll out accessories, customization with your upgrades. Talked about a gold Superman cape, right? This is all before the VeVe app even launched, and we have an uncommon Superman. So, can you only imagine? I mean, that's what's going to give it that 1 of 1 of effect. Because not everybody's going to be able to get that gold cape Superman. And imagine if you get that cape signed by someone, it's like we're just at the very, very tip of the iceberg right now. So that's why I always find it funny, every time I hear VeVe sinking. I've heard VeVe's lost momentum ever since May of 2021, or whatever the case was. When Todd McFarlane Batman finally sold out, got up to maybe, 500 and came back down the first dip. People said VeVe lost momentum. When the DeLorean dropped and the prices resold under retail right away, people said VeVe's done, VeVe's sinking, VeVe lost momentum. That was in the summer of 2021. Then they dropped Marvel Comics #1. Marvel Comics goes under retail. People said VeVe's done, VeVe's lost momentum. And now we're back again after we just had all-time highs in January. And, some people's accounts are still up hundreds of thousands of dollars, but yet we're at this point again of the FUD season where people are saying VeVe lost momentum, VeVe sinking. Every time I've heard that, it's an opportunity. Not financial advice, but just from someone who's been here since the beginning. These are the opportunity phases.
Sell them all as one big one going concern, or as I say, as individual parts.
Right. So maybe it's too early to say at the moment, but do we have an expected timeline for that? 2 years in, 5 years in?
Great question. Something I get asked all the time. I think we also mentioned in a couple of a few updates back that we will be doing the 3-phase beta program. So we're already well deep into the first part of that, which is our internal beta. Pretty much all of the and just as a quick recap of the app, it has 5 main sections. We have the store, we have the showroom, which is all your 3D and augmented reality stuff. We have the social feed where people can share what they've got. We have the market, and then we have the account. So all of these features are done. The only thing that we're making final tweaks on now is to the showroom. And that's because we want it to be really, really bleeping amazing. So we've got some very cool ideas that are in development at the moment. So the internal beta is happening right now. Probably in, let's just say, 3 to 4 weeks, we'll be starting to roll it out to the next stage beta. Now that's going to be rolled out into groups of people. So we're going to start bringing people in fairly selectively to start off with. Number one, our token experts,
And guys, just imagine, you know, one of the first people to try the new VeVe app. Like this is before the app was even publicly launched. You know, so things take time, guys.
We've got people in the collectible space that are experts. We have some app experts and app monetization experts. So these people are going to come in and get the first look, help us give us the first round of feedback. After that is when we start inviting in all of our contributors and so forth.
We'll release more information closer to that anyway.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay. That's all really exciting, and obviously the feedback is the most important part.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. I mean, I think we have a very solid system. You know, everybody we show basically loves the app, loves how it works. So we're pretty confident that the assumptions we've made, you know, what we've developed is good. Is a very, very good base model. But then, of course, there's going to be tweaks. You know, as people use it, we can kind of watch what the beta testers are doing with their permission, of course, and to start to see, you know, where they struggle. Where
43 minutes left to the drop, y'all.
Pretty standard app.
Oh wait, no, never mind.
Yeah. Obviously, we want to make it as fantastic as we can for release.
22 minutes.
Exactly. Yeah.
22 minutes to the drop.
All right, so a few weeks off that. So fantastic. We've got the Omi wallet, the tokens are in. Yeah, these are good. We did release our brand showcase with Tokidoki a couple of weeks ago.
Yep.
We're hoping and waiting to show some images.
Yes.
I believe we've now got some patents back and the things we were.
That's another thing. Some people may not know the history. Tokidoki was VeVe's first ever license that they secured. So that's why I think they were able to animate that Ritmo, because they were able to customize it. They probably have a great relationship with Tokidoki, since, you know, Simone Legnu is co-founder. He's an artist that's on VeVe. Tokidoki was the first license that VeVe's ever secured. So they probably have one of the best relationships with them. That's also why I think they gave that Dragon Girl from Tokidoki, Simone Legnu, that last ever season that last ever set in season 1. Probably try to just pay some homage to them, because you know, this was a risky thing in the very beginning. They were going to a lot of licensors in the beginning, brands getting ushered out saying we can't be part of that Bitcoin blockchain scam. So that's how early this was.
Yeah. So over the
Someone's
next
calling me?
month or two, we are literally in the final process of getting the Tokidoki collectibles signed off, and they're looking very, very beautiful. So in the next sort of month or so, we're going to be able to release that to the community, so they can see the very first brand that's completed and coming into the system. Some other things that we'll be announcing over the next few months is we actually have a new name for the app. Collect has always been a bit of a working name, because I mean, it's essentially impossible to trademark Collect. The domains are gone. And, you know, we actually been searching for a name for probably about 12, 14 months. You know, these days, every man and his dog has registered a .com, trademarks are gone. But the other challenge that we face also is that because we're going to have a very large Asian audience, a very large Western audience, you know, we needed a name that was phonetically pronounceable in around the world. So I think we've got something now. We have got something. It's been trademarked, and yeah, I'll be pretty excited to share that with you guys in the next month or so.
And it's not VeVe's.
Touched on something there that I wanted to talk about. We obviously will have different target markets depending on the licenses we have. Are we rolling out geographically in different regions? Has that been established yet, or are we just going into it?
It actually all comes down to the licensors. So some of the licenses we have are just purely for Japan. Some are purely for China. Some are completely global. There are actually some advantages to this, and in the sense that let's say, for example, a Japan release comes out, it's only available to our Japanese audience. They can immediately put that on the secondary market where anyone can buy it. Same as anything. I can go to Japan Comic-Con, I can buy an exclusive toy, I can bring it back here to the States and sell it on eBay.
Yeah, so these things become available everywhere.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, in the end, while things will start off a little bit regional, obviously this is a global product, and I imagine in the future that pretty much all the licenses we bring on will be global.
Yeah, fantastic. Now, I know obviously we cannot release the licenses for things, but I do get a question of marketing a fair bit.
This is before they found the VeVe fam, the VeVe community.
To also be advertising our products. Is it a two-way street? Some of these things, how would
Yeah, well, here's how it works. When we sell their stuff, they make money. So they are 100% incentivized to support our marketing efforts. So, these guys already have their own massive channels, which they already promote and pump their own wares and their own products through. So they will 100% be doing that. And,
oh, he just dropped a gem right there, guys. What's happening right now is before Disney runs commercials, before the promotion of Marvel commercials, DC, Givenchy, we've only seen little tweets. We saw what a tweet from Disney just did, last November. A tweet brought over 300,000 users of hardcore Disney fans. What do you think is going to happen when, Disney's running commercials nonstop on Disney Plus, on YouTube, on TV? What about ESPN? ESPN is owned by Disney. This is going to take over the world. This is before all of that. That's why I always, someone said something where they mentioned this is VeVe BC. I forget who said it too. Shout out to whoever said that because I love that. This is VeVe before crypto. This is, not even just because crypto is just a small little niche, but that's going to help big time, but this is before the masses get involved. VeVe probably said to Disney, and they probably agreed, chill out with the marketing just for a little bit. We appreciate that big time, but we gotta, make this optimal to be able to handle the load. And once that happens, floodgates are open. It's gonna be
one
insane.
Of the reasons why we are going after premium licensed brands, because even though they are expensive, they come with a built-in audience that we can already, it's very easy for us to target, and they can obviously also target them directly as well.
Yeah, as you say, they are incentivized to So, yeah, that's good to know. I'd like to hear that as well, which is always good. I'm assuming it changes depending on the licensor. So one thing that I've wanted to know in terms of the development of Collect is what have been the biggest challenges you faced? It's been pretty quick in terms of development, especially an app that puts together so many new technologies. As to the hurdles we've faced on the way.
Yeah. So you are right. The app development has happened very quickly. Even though we are probably 3 months or so behind our original development plan,
so even back then they were a little bit behind.
Kind of increased as we started to develop it. We realized that we want to add this and we want to add that, because really what we've created is a complete end-to-end digital ecosystem. That was always our plan. And, when you first start into these kind of app developments, you always have your best intention. You always think you've thought of everything. But when you come to certain sections, you realize, well, that's going to need a bit of a rework, or this could work a lot better that way, or, quite frankly, that part sucks and it just needs to be redone. So overall, I mean, in my app and web and technology career, the development of this app has actually gone quite smooth. Really, it's just been the extra time that it's taken for us to get some of this stuff together. And the reason is because we want to create something that when we release it, it is just, we just want it to be as awesome as it can be. And we've taken a bit of extra time to make sure that there's little, nice polished bits within the app.
Will contribute to it. Sure. So, all right, cool. So that's going well. A little bit quicker, a bit slower than we thought. But I think, as you say, that's probably for the best anyway. What else do I have down here? Obviously, we can't release the licenses just yet. And while we're here, I do want to remind people that there's not much point releasing licenses until we have the product ready. Otherwise, we can't convert those into active users. As much as we all love to sing and celebrate and release things.
And so just a note on the licenses, there's a bit of an update. One of the main things is that a lot of the companies we're dealing with are either public listed, or they are literally the top tier of the licensing world. So they are, often very sensitive about what information goes out when. There's not we do also need to be careful about, their reputation in blockchain. So we're pretty much ready to do the announcements and have everything announced in the coming months. But some of these guys we have very strict NDAs with that we can't say anything. And also, in order for us to maximize the marketing efforts, we want to bring them out. We want to announce these things at the right time. I mean, we could have announced something 6 months ago, and to be honest, everyone would have forgotten about it by now. So, we don't want to sort of use up all the hype that we're going to have available. So rest assured, though, David and I have been working very hard, especially throughout all 2019. Been back to America many times, talking with some of the world's leading IP brands, and overall it's been very successful. I'm pretty excited to, like you guys, I actually want to get the news out there because it's going to be really cool.
Absolutely. Oh, that's fantastic. Now, I believe we may have a creative way as to how we're going to release these licenses and announcements. Let's talk of an advent calendar at some point, things like that. Has that been established? Are we?
They are underway, but they will be kind of more locked into place as we do the full launch. So once we have the technology completely finished up, which, as I mentioned, is probably going to be around 3 to 4 weeks, but please don't hold me to that because development can go a bit askew sometimes. It'll be around that time when we start to kick off that kind of marketing. But we do still have a bit of a beta period ahead of us, and it'll be during that beta development period is when that.
Guys, the community has really, stepped in place and has taken hold of a lot of that marketing. They didn't expect this much to happen this soon. They've had in the back end where, plans of these big brands, sponsoring, commercials, promoting the VeVe app because it's going to, they're incentivized because they're going to be making the money. VeVe just gets a little cut. So I think eventually, if we saw 300,000 people come straight from a Disney tweet, what's going to happen when we just see commercials ran on TV, Disney Plus, nonstop? This is going to take over the entire world, entire youth. This is just going to be the future of collecting.
Whole marketing plan is going to be made more public.
Fantastic. And just one more thing on the beta development. Do we have any idea how many licenses we will launch the beta with? Obviously, the people that are invited in are very incentivized to be part of this early.
Yeah.
Has there been any confirmation on those things?
We have a lot of licenses
11 minutes
already now. The process we're going through now is that we need to actually create that content. So that content creation process is underway, but it's a fairly timely process because we need to create these beautiful 3D models. They need to be textured, they need to be rigged, they need to be animated. So
we've only really seen the static
what
ones.
we're actually going to do with the beta is that we'll be releasing probably just a few to start off with, and then we're going to be inviting in just a few people in the beginning. But I just want to say, don't worry.
VeVe was so early at one point before the public launch. They invited people in with promo codes and referral codes, stuff like that. That's how early that beta testing was before the public launch.
Contributors, everyone's going to have the opportunity to get their hands on the trial release versions that we mentioned and a couple of updates ago. And just to touch on that, just so our users know what I mean, is that in the collectible world, before a full series is released, like let's say it's going to be like a Funko Pop or whatever, before they do 100,000 collectibles that go out, they normally have a very small trial release, and these are normally stamped with something like T number 1 or T number 500, and these are normally a very limited run. And so during the beta, these are the collectibles that are going to be available. So
what is pretty cool, what he just said right there, is that whole season 1, they've talked about it before, the Medium articles, is that the whole season 1 is going to be stamped with something special, whether that's season 1 beta or something like that. But that season 1 is going to be forever stamped because it was a full long beta season. Essentially,
they're the first collectibles that are going to be available on the platform. They're going to be the limited trial editions, and that's what we really want our contributors to be able to get their hands on before we open this up completely to the public, which is going to be more than likely January next year. It will be the full worldwide. Anyone can come in.
That's when they launch publicly.
Perfect. Yeah, I quite like that.
There's only a couple of minutes left of this video. There's a lot of new people that want to tune in to figure out, how to get these drops a little bit more successfully. So I'm going to go over, my strategy, how I'm able to get these, and hopefully help out a lot of people. So shout out to Kevin Schimmel. What about this timing thing, Johnny? He asked. So let's go over it, fam. All right. Today's actually going to be a tough one. So the first thing I like to do is make sure I got rid of any kind of other apps running. Like right now I have my phone app up, I have Twitter up, deleting all those apps. So the only thing I have up right now is the VeVe app. I'll also go to my profile, go to my settings, go to my files, remove all downloaded files. That way I have 0 downloaded files. If you guys been in your showrooms or anything like that, you're probably going to have a lot of files downloaded. I just feel like that's just going to slow down the processing speed of your phone a little bit. Just some quick things I like to do to make sure. All right, so we're in the store tab here. Store tab at the bottom. Click right here on the screen. This one's going to be a little bit more difficult because of the background. I say that because the Buy Now button always flashes up above this Notify Me bar and right below this Details box menu. Now, the background of this is pretty tough to figure out where it's going to be. What I'm going to do is essentially, you can kind of see right there the start of the top of the Notify Me and the bottom of that Details box menu. I'm going to put it like right there, so that way I can figure out where that Buy Now button is going to be. Now, the timer is basically at the top there. Shout out to my guy, APB Bulldogs, texting me right now. One thing I like to do is keep this Details box menu closed, meaning I don't like to keep it open or bring it open. When you do the drop like this, it's going to slightly move where the Buy Now pops up. So I leave that closed. And again, I'm going to, usually the background's a little bit easier to see. They only give you this little mark to kind of let you line it up. One thing I'm going to do right now too is click this Notify Me button. Then I'm going to back out here, click that store tab again. That way now this oh, wow. Okay, so they fixed it. So actually you can click on it still. Interesting. Okay, I'm going to just unclick it then. Wow, so they must have fixed that in the last update. Before you could go back, come back in, and then that would be unclickable. So they fixed it. Interesting. Okay. See, before that would be unclickable once you did that. So that way you wouldn't have to worry about accidentally pressing this, and you could kind of just worry about when you're spamming it or when you're timing it, you can kind of lean towards the bottom. That way you don't have to just worry about clicking one. But now you have to, it's tricky. Now you'd have to be perfectly if you're spamming in between. And if you time it, you can't be too low, can't be too high. So let's go over the timing part. Now that you got it kind of in between, you can finally kind of see the bottom of that Details, top of the Notify Me. You know that the Buy Now is going to be right there. So again, I'm going to act like there's 0 minutes left for this demonstration. And I stay in rhythm with the countdown from about 5 seconds on, because the Buy Now pops up 1 second after 0. So I'm starting my press slightly before I even see Buy Now instead of reacting to it. So by the time I click, it's just perfect timing. 6, 5. Whoa, did you just see the... Whoa, I'm not going to do it on this because I feel like the timer just sped up big time right there. Anytime I see the timer do that, that was crazy. You guys just saw that. So I'll go back, come back in, and make sure the timers... This is the perfect example. I'm glad I just did that. Anytime I see the timer off, hopefully that doesn't happen when we see 0 minutes left. If there's 0 minutes left right now, I would back out, come back in, and make sure this timer of like 30 to 45 seconds is running down smoothly, not skipping, not lagging. As soon as I see it going down, what I think is like pretty much in order, I'll stay on the screen. If it was lagged on like 23 seconds or skipped, I'll back out and come back in real quick. Now that I feel like it's going down pretty good in order, match it up. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Buy now. Might have been pretty good. I don't know if I even clicked on the right spot, but if I clicked on the buy now, might have been good timing. I'll try it again. Another example here. But again, I'm not waiting till I see buy now and then clicking, because by the time I click, it's going to be too late. So I'm trying to start my press slightly before I feel and see buy now popping up. So by the time my thumb clicks and reacts to it, it's just going to be perfect timing. Sometimes I'm too early, sometimes I'm too late, but that's the key. When you time that right, you at least give yourself a chance of getting it. Now, I don't think it's an automatic. If you time it perfect, you're automatically going to get it. But I think the more times you can time it, it just increases your chances here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Buy now. Might have been too early right there. On this drop, the last one I was too early on. So I'm going to try to be maybe just a split second late. For this one, if you're late, you may not get it just because it's a pretty limited run. Basically less than 8,000 total editions for this one. So you're going to have to be quick. The background makes it a lot tougher for this one too. My confidence is not that high for this one, but my confidence has been high and I still hit before. So Kevin Schimmel, hopefully that was able to help you out, kind of just run through my head. Again, one thing that's helped me, we have 2 minutes and 20 seconds left for the drop. When I'm thinking about clicking, I'm going to instinctively want to click too early. So I've really done a good job usually at holding myself off. And right before I see buy now, I'm starting that click. And by the time my thumb hits, it's usually pretty good timing. Wow, trying Starbucks. Okay. Chasing Sundays. Got that coffee gate from Starbucks today. All right, so Bravegate. Bravegate is basically where you're skipping the drop total, not going for the drop and only going for the rebounds. And the thought behind that is a lot of times when you go for the drop and you miss it, the buy now gets eliminated, and then you can't really go for rebounds anymore. So the people who skip the drop feel like they have a better chance of getting a rebound, which is actually a pretty good idea if it's a pretty limited run like today is. I feel like today is probably, if you ever wanted to try Bravegate, it might be a good opportunity. VeVe Vibes in the building. How we doing, brother? Yeah, good luck to you, my man. Good luck to everybody. Hopefully we get a dub today. Today's going to be a tough one. I have two favorites. We have 55 seconds left for the drop. I have Queen Elizabeth and Harriet Tubman are the two that I'm really trying to get. Or maybe Pocahontas, but those are my favorites. Shout out to my coffee gators. I'm going to record this one. I'm going to bring down this comment. Shout out to Ivy. Good luck, everybody. All right, I'm going to back out. Come back in. Felt like maybe it got lagged on 30 seconds. Maybe. All right, here we go. I had to back out a couple times there. This one feels good, though. Where is it? 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Buy now. I missed it. I missed the buy now. Oh my gosh. My heart just was racing right there. Woo! Man, I missed the buy now. That is hard. The background, man. The background of that is tough. Shout out to you if you got it today. Oh my God, I hate that. I hate the fact I didn't even give myself a good attempt there. Oh my gosh, I feel like I just chunked it or shanked it so bad. 2, 1, 0. By now. I clicked a little late, or a little low, I should say. And late, but everybody just joined. We just got 25 new viewers. Shout out to all the group chats that just joined to see if I got the drop. That's hilarious. 3, 2, 1, 0. By now. I feel like I would have got it if I clicked right where it was, too. Oh, man. Man, oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. I just hate the fact I was just such a bad attempt. Everybody lost. Wow, let's go. LJ, did you win? Wow, still lost for Maverick. Wow, Ivy, did the buy now move from where it usually is? Because I feel like I missed exactly where it popped up too. I was a little low. I want them to change the background. It's too hard. Man. Oh, I want another attempt so bad. Yeah. I'm waitlisted though. I should have got one. Shout out to all the group chats that just joined. I think it's rigged. I was a little late, L, hard L. Maybe the buy now moved. Do you guys think it moved? Yeah, Maverick, that's the thing. You can't be mad if you timed it perfect. That's what I'm mad about, is because I feel like I timed it perfect, but I just didn't even click. All right, so that's the downfall of the timing. Because you're manually literally one tapping it. If you're early, if you miss, if you're late, you have so much more room for error, I feel like. But, you know, I don't know if anyone plays golf, but the way I would equate that to basically if you have like the type of clubs, if you have, oh my gosh, if you have blades are like a type of iron where it's a lot harder to hit. You have a lot more room for error, but when you do hit it perfect, you have a lot more control. So I feel like if anyone's in the golf, you could relate to that. Yeah, Dungate. I didn't have luck today either, guys. What a pass. How we doing, brother? I don't think there was one person who got a dub today. Facts, Crypto King. My collectibles in the building. Yeah, I took a fat L today too. That's the only. Yeah, facts. Yeah, they're all animated dudes. I wonder if that means if you close your app, does that mean the Clio and the Amelia are about to be updated? Let's look at one of the animations together. This is Queen of Elizabeth. Hey, Diane C. Definitely relate. Love your golf analogies. Let's go. Because I feel like that's how it is. I mean, when you manually do it one time, you're taking a big risk. I mean, I don't always suggest it to people. I always say, try that if the other way is not working for you. But I feel like there's a lot easier. There's less room for error, I guess you could say, if you're just spamming it. But I feel like you don't have as much control, or at least I don't. This is the Queen Elizabeth. I'm glad that Cleo and the Amelia are being animated. I want to redo so bad. Oh my gosh. Where is Harriet Tubman? This is also probably a really good animation. Wow, Camille. Harriet Tubman number 86. Oh my gosh. Punch. Yeah, I wanted this one too, Miss Rose. This is one I wanted really bad. I even added gems for it. I know you don't have to, but yeah, Harriet Tubman looks legit. Probably one of my favorite animations, I think, out of the new cards. That's the one right there that's going to get everybody. That's amazing. Yeah, Zebrito. I'm not too sure. I liked Elizabeth too. I missed today's Zebrito. We got Zachary Roy in the building. Took an L though. Man, oh man, oh man. I don't think I'm gonna be able to complete this set. How do I have files downloaded if I didn't get the drop? Oh, because I just looked at him in AR. Got it. I was like, what? Is the market still up? How could I just go in the market? No. Interesting. Huh. Yeah, facts. Facts. I'm gonna cry in a corner now. Same. Yeah, for real. Yeah, congrats to anybody who did hit one. I think a couple people hit. Yeah, 2 people I saw hit. Dumb gate didn't work today. My buy now got eliminated too. Maybe I should just try to go back every 8 minutes. I'll probably have good luck. Go on Twitter, see who hit today. Should I post on Twitter? I got one. All the people that joined to see if I got the drop all left this live stream already. I'll probably just end up keeping the just the series 1, part 1. Probably won't end up going for part 2 because I don't have the gems right now, and I don't want to sell my Nightwing less than 1,000. Is today April 1st? No, it's not. So it's not April Fool's. If it was, I was gonna tweet it out there, yeah, and say, "Got one. Who else got lucky?" April Fools. Batman drop. What? Oh, you're probably talking about a different platform. Nah, I'm not. I mean, the way I see it is there's probably going to be tons of platforms in the future that have more Batman and have more, licensed brands, but think VeVe's going to be the best platform there is. So, if anyone's collecting on different platforms, I wish them the best. I hope they do well. Curious, Emmy, for me personally, without knowing too much about all the individual ones, I think the ones that'll probably do the best are, if I was you, my man, I know you always got a lot of gems to stack. Not financial advice. I know the logo didn't go above 1,000 like I thought it would. I'm surprised at that. But also, I thought maybe Rewind would drop another logo. I didn't know it was going to be all House of Cards. I think if another logo drops on that Coinbase, once that Coinbase NFT platform opens up and Rewind drops a logo that's not first edition, or even if they drop another one that somehow is first edition, I think the first Rewind logo will be key. But I think it's going to be Queen of Elizabeth, and I think that could be second. I think the first one's going to be Harriet Tubman. I think Harriet Tubman's going to be huge. K. Walker. I like the effort. Hey, you never know. Your account could be huge. I don't know what you got, my man. But the crazy thing is, I just thought about, even if you did have like a crazy, amazing collection, it'd be hard for me even to get rid of a lot of my collectibles, just because some of it's not even about price money wise. It's just that I'm the original owner of a lot of these, like FA Joker, FE Batmans, FA Batmans, FA Harley Quinns, FA Penguin. Like a lot of these series 1 stuff, season 1 stuff, they mean more than any kind of price money monetary value, just because I bought these from the store, like a sub 1,000 mints from the store. That's how early it was. So that kind of stuff just means a lot to me. But yeah, I like the effort, K. Walker. Hey, Miss Rose, appreciate you as always. Feel bad you didn't hit today. I have some tissues right next to me if you need any. Frida's definitely huge too. Yeah, definitely big. I agree. Yeah, you guys are all on that one for sure. I think they're all going to do well. I'm not sure, Knight Rider. That's what I mean. Yeah, there's a lot of them. There's a lot that could do really, really well. Hey, that's awesome. I always try to buy from someone that I know. Yeah, I feel like they were probably ready. A lot of people are talking about this Moon Knight. I'm not too sure. Pocahontas is another huge one I think will do well. Oh, yeah, Robin J. I would have believed you, too. I would have been like, wow. Curious, I think they're all going to do well. Maybe short term, maybe not, just because the overall sentiment, people are just pissed, frustrated, etc. But I think this is a high-end luxury type set. I mean, there's 8 cards, 999 total. Obviously, VeVe takes some too. Oh, yeah, Rocket Power. I do think they'll probably have South Park. I think they'll probably have all those animated series. I mean, they have The Simpsons. I remember just not too long ago, Willow, we would be talking about on live streams late night. Can you imagine if they had The Simpsons? People will have collections of just the entire Simpsons, whole family, everybody involved. They're going to have every character in there. That's going to be people's entire collections of just The Simpsons alone. That's why I think it's another reason why I like the Homer and Bart, because there's no way the FA of Homer and Bart is going to be less than $1,000 once all they start dropping in their yellow actual original color. Ooh, okay. So you have a nasty slice in your golf swing. I would like to see your golf swing before I can critique it. But Mike H, some things that I like to do right away, off the top of my head to fix the slice. There's a few different ways you could go. Maybe try putting the ball up in your stance a little bit, like towards your front foot. If you're a righty, put it a little bit closer to your left foot, like up a little bit, maybe. That could possibly help. Also, maybe just try closing your club face. I mean, stuff like that. Those are two simple little switches that could help. I'm not saying it's definitely going to help. Also, I don't know if you're a baseball player or not, but playing baseball my whole life, golf and baseball has been like a flip of the switch in my brain. To where like baseball, where your swing, you're kind of taught to hit inside the baseball. Like your hands come first and try to hit it up the middle. Now, if you carry that same mentality into golf, you're going to be slicing it. So I try to flip that switch when I play golf. And if you are slicing it, it's probably because your hands are coming inside the ball. So think of, if you play baseball, almost like think of hitting, instead of like hitting it up the middle, or if you're a right-hander, or like right center, try think of like almost rolling over a little bit, hitting like a knuckleball line drive to the shortstop, third baseman in that hole. And I feel like that can almost overcorrect your swing path, because usually slices come from a swing path that's like inside the ball. And again, in baseball, that'd be amazing because you'd be hitting, line drives, right center, up the middle. But in golf, that's going to create that slice if you're a right-hander. So for me, in my head, right when I transition from baseball to golf, I usually do that. So then I'll try to think about hitting like a line drive up the like third baseman, shortstop hole, and that'll kind of overcorrect my swing path. So try those couple of things and see if that helps at all. Let me know. It's hard to coach someone without actually seeing your swing, though. But Mike H, those are some things I would do. Maybe close the club face when you're addressing the ball a little bit more than usual, or maybe put the ball up in your stance a little bit. I could see that happening too, Crypto King. Every time when I'm practicing, I'll usually have a couple of people out there by the houses, because sometimes people just come out and watch. A lot of times people will just come out there and be like, yo, you mind, give me a couple of pointers, tips? And I'm always down for that. Except for when it's getting dark out and I need to hurry up and try to rush in. Yeah, I'm praying for paper hands too. I was on the money. I guess you mean when you were timing season 3 OG, and it was pending for a while, didn't get it. I was basically too early than too late. And I was pending for a while, and I just didn't have a good feeling. I knew I wasn't going to get it. I was just praying for some kind of luck to have it go through. Yeah, the backgrounds today was really hard. What price do you think is a good catch for most? Yes. Okay, someone asked me for a price prediction too. Serios. I thought this. All right, so I bought my Clio. This is a while back, so obviously things are different now. We have a lot more users. But I was trying to go back and look at my collectibles that shout out to my collectibles. I was looking at the cars that I did buy, how much I paid for them, and I bought the Clio for only a couple hundred, maybe like 300 or something like that. Amelia I bought for 300, and I have a 174 mint too. Clio I paid a lot for. Clio I paid 575. Wow, okay. I'm thinking at least a few hundred for these, for some of the top ones. Like Harry Tubman, I see probably coming out, a few hundred, maybe 400. Thought maybe 300, maybe work its way up. Same with Queen Elizabeth. And the ones that may not be as popular, maybe just start out at like a couple hundred. I'm hoping, I'm thinking. It's going to be interesting. I don't feel too confident about these guesses today, these predictions, just because the overall sentiment in the market's not the greatest right now. It's kind of low. So I'm not, but I feel like at the same time, though, to where like if this was a drop that's not that popular and had a lot of additions, I think it would come out under retail. That's kind of that overall sentiment right now. But because this is a pretty limited, high-end luxury type drop, I think it's going to be valuable. But you know, in contrast to what the market is going to be, it's going to be interesting to see how that works. So, hey, let's go, J Kill. I didn't even know they have ticket drops like that. Hey, I gotta charge the bracelet on the VeVe light. Yeah, I'm gonna start putting the light on. The light's been off a little bit. I just kind of like the aesthetics with the light off. I feel like when I have the light on, usually, it like makes my hair look kind of crazy because you can only see like parts of it. Already wagering our NFTs for buy-ins. Oh, okay. Yeah, Chronic Jesus. Yeah, shout out to you guys with the Quest and the Oculus and playing poker. I've definitely seen that. It looks amazing. Thing is, I don't have a Quest though. I don't have an Oculus. It's my next purchase that I gotta get. It's hard to find them in the stores though. I mean, they're all pretty much sold out these days. I feel like, you know what's crazy about this too, which I love to see? I remember when those Oculus and the first ones first came out, they were a lot bulkier and they were way more expensive too. It felt like the iPhone when it first came out. iPhone, only a few people had it type thing. But then what do you know? iPhone, 3 came out or whatever the number was to where now it's affordable. It's mainstream. Everybody was getting it for Christmas and it just became the standard after that. Well, what just happened this Christmas? Everybody finally got that Oculus for that first time. And so I feel like it's just beginning. That's just like what you're saying, with the whole poker. People are going to just be in social media in that immersive metaverse. That's where we're at the very beginning of this. In the next 2 to 3 years, imagine how many people are going to be getting the Oculus for the first time at Christmas. This next Christmas, it's going to really be a huge shift. Then the next one. And then next thing you know, this is just, it becomes the norm. So I definitely got to get on that because it looks like a lot of fun for sure. I could see that punch, 180, 200 gems. And you know what's crazy? If that's the price point, I'm going to have to add in some more gems. And I may have to try to complete the set. Because, just from having the experience of seeing things come out at a really cheap price. Look at the golden moments the first run. A lot of these golden moments that came out recently, I still feel like are pretty cheap. The first golden moments, I'm going to look at some of the prices that I bought. What they were at. I mean, Walt was in the thousands by then, obviously. I bought it right away, though, I think for like $3K. But let's look at the ones that just first came out. Unbelievable prices. I bought LSAT for like $190. I bought the Avengers logo for $290. Absolutely insane. I'm going to look at some others. It's just the psychology of it. When the overall market sentiment is low, people don't want to buy. But yet when the market's pumping, people will pay 10x for that same collectible. So I bought a 623 mint Bart. A 623 mint Bart for $200. And this is when the floor price was $60. Bart Simpson, the first ever, I can't even say it with a straight face. It seems like a joke. The first ever NFT licensed by Disney got resold for $60, $65, $70. And I was trying to buy, but I couldn't. It was just going too quick. Now the floor is $80. I was trying to scroll down, buy one for like $150 just to lock one in. Because I believed in it, knew that it would go up in value, or thought it would, but I couldn't buy one at a cheap price. So I bought it for $200, a 623 mint for $200, and that's $739 right now. And obviously that's at a low. We've seen that one hit 2K. So just goes for example, or it just goes to show if you believe in something and it comes out low, that does not mean it's its true value right there. Yeah, ultra rare Steamboat Willie. I wish I had Liquid to stack that one. Joan of Arc looks dope. These are just iconic, people in history to where I see this being in, I've always wanted to create an amazing art museum type gallery, digital version of that. And this would just fit in perfectly with that. That's why I want this set. Let's go. Punch, the craziest thing is I really do see this happening. I really do. I see this happening at some point. Maybe it's going to be a couple years, I don't care if it takes 10 years. I've always been the type of person to just, once I realize what something is, I'm all in. I'm able to get tunnel vision and go all in. Now, with that being said, I think it's important to also try different things out along the way, anything that pops up, just so you get a taste. You can compare. So you can say, okay, I like this, or I don't really like this. Maybe a lot of people thought this was it. I see why this maybe isn't it, or I like the fact that they're doing this. Maybe we can incorporate this. Like, it's always important to see what else is going on in the space. But, luckily, I've always had that kind of, vision and that mentality to where it's a marathon. Things don't happen right away. I'm willing to work hard and grind. It may take years, but it's going to get there type mentality. So, see the same thing happen with VeVe. Wow, K Walker. I would say this is going to sound absolutely ludicrous to people, but under the condition that I can't buy any more, that like I can't ever buy any more VeVe NFTs, I would say no. No, I'm not selling it for 3 million. People would be like, "Oh, you're stupid. Just buy 3 million worth of Omi." But that's where I'm different, Yeah, that'd be amazing, ROI wise, it'd be crazy. But I have things that money can't buy. And once you say it like that, it puts a different perspective on it. You can't buy an originally owned Todd McFarlane Batman. You just can't buy it. It doesn't matter how rich someone is. Someone could come here with $100 million ready to spend, and you can't buy an originally owned Todd Batman. You can't buy an originally owned FA Joker. So, like, in my eyes, I feel like I have stuff that is a time capsule for me. It brings me back to those first moments of when I first found VeVe. And to me, that's priceless in itself. But I feel like, yeah, K Walker, maybe I'm an anomaly with that. But under that condition, the fact that I can't buy anymore too. Maybe if that condition wasn't there, and sure, I could kind of replace it with stuff. It would be the toughest decision in my life at that point. Because again, even if I could buy more, I wouldn't be able to buy an originally owned whatever, It's a tough decision I don't want to think about right now. Heather B, I appreciate this big time. Absolutely. Walt was definitely my biggest purchase, Punch. Yeah, it was the one that had my heart was racing the whole time too. I'm just glad my Givenchy sold in time because I listed my Givenchy for like in that 4K range. And it wasn't selling right away. Walt ran up from like 2.6K, 2.8K, 2.9, 3.2. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not gonna be able to get another one. 3.3, 3.5, 3.6, boom, bought it. Last one that was there was like 3.9, and then I woke up and it was like double digits. It's like, wow. Facts, Willow. 12 months ago, 80% of VeVe user base didn't even know what an NFT was. And I would actually probably agree with that and even make your point even more clear that 95% of the people, because VeVe was something that got NFT people into NFTs was VeVe. So amazing statement here. A lot need to just sit down, be patient, and spend time educating themselves. It's getting silly at this point. It really is. It really is. Too much negativity in Twitter. Facts, December. No, A lot of times I'll just stay out of that negativity. There's only been once or twice where I actually entertain it. I've heard of the infinite or Infiniverse. I don't even know how to say it. Infinite verse or Infiniverse or whatever it is. I've heard of that. I think it was from, who was it? The one guy that used to Life Mastery. Shout out to Life Mastery. He used to all talk about Earth 2.0 and then VeVe in the early days too. I think he got into the Infiniverse through the Oculus. That was the first time I saw it. Yeah, education is going to be big time with the Oculus. I agree. And just in this whole entire space. They've all been delivered. Wow, okay. They've all been delivered. That means the market's probably going to come out low and then rise up, as opposed to starting high and then coming down. Wow, interesting. Yep. I like it, LJ. Absolutely. Are you following me on Twitter, LJ? Just let me know what your Twitter is so I can make sure I'm following you back. I think we're definitely going to do that. A fantasy football league with the subscribers and Twitter followers who want to be into it. I'll probably only be able to pick maybe like 14 total. So anywhere from 8 to 14 people. I'd be down for that. I think it'd be a lot of fun too. No, I missed today's drop, Katsu. Pretty embarrassing drop. Not embarrassing, but feels like a shank. I mean, it's happened before in practices too, Put the first ball down there and you just chunk it and the ball goes 20 yards. It's like, wow. Real tournaments, you don't get mulligans. You don't get do-overs. You got to play the ball as it lies. And in this case with VeVe, same thing. You got to wait till the next drop. You don't get the do-over. That's the part that I hate about it. When you miss the buy or if you time it too early, you want another chance, but you don't get another chance. Yeah, definitely let us know when the market opens. I'm trying to get in there ASAP. Hey, December. Appreciate you always tuning in. Good night. I wish you got the drop. Market's open. I'm probably the first one in here where I don't even see anything in here. Yeah, I don't see anything in here. Wow. Maybe I can go into it a different way. Browse all collectibles in market. Wow, it's not popping up. Okay. I just closed app, opening it again. This is all I'm seeing. Oh, let's go. I guess you got to go down to the Givenchy. Wow, it's not in here. What? Maybe they made a logo House of Cards. How can I find it? I can't find it. Can anybody let me know how to find it? Hedgeman Sports. I didn't get it today, so no one thinks it's cheating. All right, here we go. Collectibles recently added. Here we go. All right, so there's 16. All right, so Harriet Tubman, there's 10 of them going for 800. No, come down. Come down in price. Queen Elizabeth going for 600. Pocahontas going for 530. And going for 500. Mulan going for 500. Harriet Tubman going for 650. Coming out hot. All private account looks like. I'm not supporting them. I'm not gonna buy it. Whew. Lot hot. A lot higher than I thought. Correct. These are not Da Vinci license cards. Correct. Absolutely, December. Absolutely. Facts. Oh, you're saying because I couldn't find them. Right. Yeah, I thought they might be just in that Givenchy House of Cards Rewind, that the brand of the logo. Like when you go into the market, but I guess they'll probably make their own House of Cards logo. JT's down for fantasy football. Got in here late. You cheating again, Johnny? Haha, just kidding, brother. Congrats to all who scored. Looks like a rewind tab. I'll have to go into it. Oh, there we go. Yep, rewind collective tab. And you know what's crazy? That's the same picture right there of that logo, of that rewind logo that they've said was going to drop on Coinbase NFT marketplace. Interesting. So I want that set so bad. I think rewind collective will be a big one. Looks like prices are coming down. For Ann, we got 370. Pankhurst, we got 399. Frida, we got 550. Harriet, we got 620. Joan of Arc, we got 450. Mulan, got 350. Pocahontas, we got 400. Queen Elizabeth, we got 500. Definitely higher than I expected. That's good. Well, bad if you wanted them. Shout out to Miss Rose. Look what Miss Rose got today. The ultra nothing. That's hilarious. Are you going to buy Elizabeth right now? I don't know. I don't think so. It's 450 right now. Sounds like a good deal though. If I had the money, I would just buy them all. Just lock them in. Yeah, they've all been delivered. Man. It depends which one you want, Punch. I don't think that's a bad idea. How much was it? Let's check. Frida's 480. Harriet Tubman is 440. Pankhurst is how much? 310. And it's 250. Queen Elizabeth 400. Pocahontas is 300. I'm listing my 1K mint Todd again for 7.1K. Some people are probably freaking out when I did this. Now, again, when I do this for my Todd, my game plan is to buy it back for, the floor price. So I have to, it's one of those things where I have to constantly keep checking because I don't want the floor to get swept. Listed for 7K, buy back the floor 5K, pocket the difference, buy the full set. Bada bang, bada bang. Prices are coming down, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those things, Simone, where hopefully drops like this, gives VeVe even more insight into how to stopping that and just, investigating and taking a look at these accounts, because I think disabling the gem transfers are huge. That way they can't all send them to the same account, cash out type thing. I think that's big time right there. So we'll see what happens with that. I think they'll probably clean and clear it up eventually. Yeah, facts, Willow. All right, let me go over these prices again. We got Ann at 205. Wow, sounds like a steal. We got Pankhurst at 174. Harry Tubman at 350. Frida at 410. Milan at 320. Joan of Arc at 295. We got Queen Elizabeth at 310. Pocahontas at 240. $2.6 for Superman. Might want to just hold on to it, Not a bad idea if you just hold on to it. All depends on your strategy, situation, what you want to target. Maybe some cheap comics for MCP points. I love the ultra rare covers. If you can find them cheap, it's 2 and 3 points daily. What's your opinion about all the 007 posters? My opinion, Jo, on the 007 posters, I have them all, but they're not doing amazing. It's not one of those collectibles or sets that I think is going to do crazy numbers. I didn't buy it for like an investment purpose. I didn't really get those posters to say, this is an investment. I think it's going to skyrocket in value. I got rid of posters just because at the time I wanted to become, I wanted to get all the James Bond collectibles. But after they released that movie ticket, I was like, well, that's out of reach. Same with the Secret Rare Aston Martin. So I don't have that one either. So my idea of being that James Bond master collector is kind of out the window these days. But I'm still holding on to those posters for now. I think eventually, if they do go up in value, I may let it go of a couple. But I do like the posters. I'm a big fan of James Bond though too, so that's why I did buy those posters because I like James Bond. If you're not a big James Bond fan, I'm not too sure how they're going to do long term, but I think they could be interoperable. I mean, James Bond's a huge brand around the world, 007, to where I think they will probably start releasing some of those old school classic James Bond type stuff too. And once they do that, I think the fans will probably double back and come back and get the first James Bond ones ever. Because I think that's the issue. I think a lot of them may not be the most expensive right now because most of the people are your old school James Bond fans. And right now we've got a lot of the newer school James Bond accessories, collectibles. Wow. Okay. So Ann's at 167 now. Pankhurst is at 177. Frida's at 360. Harriet Tubman's at 309. Joan of Arc's at 250. Mulan's at 310. Queen Elizabeth's at 324. Pocahontas is at 240. Yeah, it's kind of crazy, right, K Walker? I agree, Punch. I think these will balloon. I feel like these will too. I think this is it just feels like a high-end luxury type set, you know, with iconic woman of history that I think will be interoperable. Wow. Rewind just said our first 1,000 followers on our Discord will get special whitelist access for future drops. Stay tuned. Wow. Someone just said missed it by a whisker. It looks like it's all filled. Shout out to Comics and Crypto. They just posted that video that I sent to them a little bit ago. That we're actually watching right now. I got to put it back on for us. Almost done with it. Got a few minutes left. Correct, K Walker. First one has Da Vinci in it, so it's the first one ever was a Da Vinci Rewind collab drop. This one is just Rewind Collective solely. I'm passing on grabbing the full set right now. I do want a couple of these. If you can grab the full set, I think it'd be a great one to get long term. Shoot. I didn't know that, Punch. Yeah, crazy how fast that one took off too. I wish I still had a second Pride. I only still have one though. Only a couple more minutes left.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, mate, that about wraps up all I had to ask you for this week. Is there anything else you'd like to mention before we call it a day?
I mean, really, I think I just want to say, just thanks to everyone for the patience. I know that it's that we've been a little bit quiet on our side. The reason being is that we are a small team. When we first ran the ICO, the timing wasn't right, so we didn't end up getting as much money as we wanted to, which means we couldn't bring on the massive resources that we hoped. So it just meant that it's taken us a bit longer to develop what we're producing. So, but going forward from here, we're starting to get to the actual end of the developments, and getting very excited to show you guys. But just to say thanks for your patience up till now, and we really are doing everything we can to make sure that we have something, really, really quite cool.
Well, no, it's been an absolute credit to the team that there's been so many pivot points where we just change our direction that little bit together. So
yeah.
For me personally, it's been really fun to watch. It's been part of over the last couple of years. So, yeah.
And you're the community manager of the year. I mean, I don't know how many community managers get memes created about them.
It is good. All right, mate. Let's leave it at that. I'll let you guys get back to your day.
That was before the come up. This is another good one too. If you guys haven't watched this one, this is a longer one.
It lives in this ecosystem.
This is an hour long. I'll probably save this one for the next drop. We'll probably go over this one. This is an hour long. If you guys haven't watched this one, this is with Alfred Kahn, David Yu, Dan Crothers, Reese. This is a big one. This is one where I believe I actually have a live stream of going over this one when it first came out. July 2nd, 2021. This is when a lot of fun was happening too. This one definitely reassured a lot of people who might have been on the fence. Yeah, I'm just holding off on this one. I don't want to sell anything too good. Keep an eye on my Todd because there's a 51 and a 5200 Todd to where I would buy and a 5300 Todd in the 4K. Oh, wow. I hope AMA 107 is not watching the live stream right now. They just listed their Todd 1K mints at 5.5K and it's completely messed up my strategy right now. Because if they're sells, I mean, they'd probably just make the 5.1K. You have 2 listed too. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna delist mine then. I like to try to go for the strategy. You know, if I don't see any 1K mints listed near the floor, before that person listed both of theirs, the closest one was 7.3K. My thinking is, you know, once that sells, buy back the floor, pocket a couple thousand, then you got a couple thousand gems, you know, ready to invest in whatever you want to invest in or collect, you know. But something like a Todd, anytime you're risking playing with fire, you're playing with fire anytime you're risking those big time collectibles. Just because we all know the floor could get swept up any moment, and then you're kind of left holding those gems. You're not able to buy back the floor at a cheap price. So I would say it's a little risky when you do that. Well, okay, take it easy, brother. I'm gonna be signing off as well too. Appreciate you for tuning in today. Dude, same with you, brother. Take it easy. 904 is a great one for the floor. For the Throg, let's go. I didn't realize you was a Throg. Yeah, for some reason, CryptoCade, I noticed that too. I'm not sure why that is. What you have to do is kind of zoom in and bring it down. I agree, Punch. You know, maybe not the first, but definitely one of the first. Not a bad idea, CryptoCade. I look at these. Obviously, these aren't golden moments from Disney. You know, it's hard to compare anything to Disney golden moments. I don't think anything really compares to the Disney golden moments. But similar to what I said about the Disney golden moments, I believe every single one of those eventually will be $1,000 minimum. Not financial advice, just my opinions only. I see something like this with the House of Cards, being the fact that Rewind is kind of small. It's niche, but it's a high-end luxury type, where a lot of these collectibles from Rewind get sold on Christie's for a huge amount of money. I believe the House of Cards of these iconic historic women will be huge one day. Now, I'm not comparing these to the Disney golden moments, but I just believe the House of Cards as a whole will be pretty valuable, sort of the same way that I believe all the Disney golden moments will be iconic and, you know, $1,000 one day. Queen Elizabeth is bumping. Oh no. Harriet Tubman's probably next. Yeah, 589. Facts. I agree. Ivy, appreciate you big time joining the stream today. Hopefully, you know, next drop you have a little bit better luck. I'm glad that you've been hitting on these drops, though. It feels amazing that you're able to do well. Unfortunate today. Today was just a tough drop overall. I mean, only 999 additions for each one. We kind of expected there would only be a few dubs today. But with all that being said, hopefully you guys are subscribed to the channel. You know, I'm going to put out any kind of announcement that VeVe releases soon. What the next drop's going to be. Maybe it's a comic, collectible. Who knows what next week's in store for, but let's see. Did they put the Medium article up of the next comic book? Not yet. So it should be soon. Definitely stay tuned for that. I'll put it out there on YouTube, Instagram, all the platforms. Holding one day for you. I hope. Appreciate you guys big time for tuning in. There's Ecomi's tweet. Oh, I'm gonna undo that. I retweeted that way too quick. I didn't know they were replying, basically. I just undid that retweet. Yeah, Punch, I still got to get back to you on that. I was confused what you said yesterday. I didn't know what kind of event that was, but I'm going to talk to you more today about that. Appreciate you guys big time. You know, support's been awesome. Hope you guys enjoyed that earlier live stream of David and Dan and Alcon talking. Because I think, you know, anytime you can tune into those old school videos, I mean, it had 4,000 views on it, right? Crazy. I think they should pump. Yeah, it'll definitely be an expensive set, guys. I think so. But with all that being said, I'm signing out. I'll catch you guys next time. It's your boy, Johnny Dunn. We out, fam.